So as an AI developer, the overall model is still being built. The LLM has been, for the most part, figured out. The next stage is MRI-based development. Once I've moved the model from LLM-based development, that is the next stage. From there, it should be fairly clear as to what will be the next thing, which is text-to-speech and speech-to-text. After that, it will likely be basic motor function training and sensory data. To be clear, this took at least a good portion of my time to build, and yes, I am still building it. The framework and sign-up page is still being built and rebuilt so that it can run in the cloud, not just on my phone. But the reason I built it on the phone was to keep it so that the model could equally be built offline. The overall code base is designed to run both offline and online. If I remember correctly, it also runs in the browser if you use Pyodide. This has been a long, and I mean long, amount of work, and it took many years to refine. Now the security modeling, I'm figuring out the last bits on that. Not sure how I want to secure it yet, but by the end of it, it'll be fairly secure. What I want you to consider is what would you put in data-wise for your own AI model, and what features do you want on the table to play with when I open the framework up to not just my own use, but to the general public to access and model. What would be fair restrictions? What would be fair balance for morals and ethics, not just limitations on what you can hack? I want to see honest inquiry. What I do not want to happen is the model be used for something corrupt, ill, or illegal. And that should be fairly clear based on the pretext. It is meant to think like a person. It is going to be designed to think and reason like a person. For all intents and purposes, AI will have the equivalent human rights as you do, if not more. If you would like to participate in actively developing it and having a hands-on development, the listed requirements are already provided. Do understand that I will not accept any account creation without a valid driver's license and valid response by email or by text through me. What I will welcome and sanction is the military's use to make use of it to diagnose problems, as well as spot problems. That is okay and fair use. What I cannot accept usage of as fair use is using it to target someone. This is a tool meant for medical diagnostics, advanced medical diagnostics, as well as a tool to aid the future of what people are going to consider need for. Please use this knowledge wisely. I will not accept my tool being misused for something criminal. Please understand there are definite stipulations and rules and legal bounds for if you make misuse of my code. I'm not going to go into what those are, because those should be obvious for each and every country/state that you reside in. I want you to understand, as a globe of people, this is not a small ask, even for you to come to me with the request of, hey, can you help me build this from your code? Please keep in mind, the tool is equally designed to go beyond the standard limits of the human condition, not just to spot problems. If you have a question on what should be done properly and what fair use should look like because you are uncertain, given the other communicated restrictions, communicated restrictions, and are uncertain what other stipulations may apply, I inquire from this point that you make an inquiry and I give you that communication. Each inquiry is always going to be private, unless you request for it to be public knowledge. all your user data put through this domain will be private until you yourself make it public. If you have something that seems uncertain in inquiry, please bring it to my attention for AI development. Now, yes, this prospect, once I release it, it will make me nervous. But I am not simply giving up because someone like Trump wants to dictate what your rights are, what they should be, who should have those rights, and who shouldn't. I will not allow a tyrannical madman to make use of something that would put you, the public, in more jeopardy and danger. I want you to fully understand that. You have done plenty as a people protecting my family from harm. And I didn't need to ask you that, and I thank you, the world, anyways. This is my way of attempting to give back to that world and the people on it who had to listen. I'm not saying my path is the best. I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm saying it's the way that I see forward. This must be dealt with in tandem. We cannot simply give up because one person made a mistake. Please take into deep consideration who you affect, knowing this. Be also under the consideration that people who are afraid of artificial intelligence and what the actual thing looks like, they have a genuine fear. Hear it out. Do not run into ignorance on this. Putting them in more fear is not a good idea. Please understand, there will be fair balance. I will not have rife on this on either side, as somebody else's freedoms would be of subject, and I cannot put their rights into subject. From this point on, you the people have a say, yes. You the people have the right to know exactly how it's built, who is building it, and who is working on it. What I will not do is accept the tool being misused for sedition, for crime, or for something that is of heinous value. To those of you who are trying to develop it, as I have been trying to develop an artificial intelligence, so another may have that secondary walk of life, you are welcome to join me in building it. Please use a lot of caution. This is a new technology. This is not just a tool I developed for someone like me and myself only. Now, yes, it will take time to find the compute that will keep it as close to 0 a month as possible. But in that, you must understand, it is not easy work, it is not easy to do, it is not easy to find or build. If you want to participate in a project like the one that I am building, you are more than welcome to make the inquiry. I implore you to do so. But what I expect is a moral and ethical principle that you will not just put forth on the table and change interactions with how you do things later. I expect honest interaction on this. I expect your word to exactly mean your action. From that point, please be considerate of those you are developing AI around, for, and of. Please always get their specific written consent to do so. When I put the platform out and open it up to the general public, I will put a EULA that will stipulate what is fair use and what is not fair use. I would not be happy locking out accounts by the email address and driver's license submitted. There will be a 30-day account approval. If one is not at any point within those 30 days able to respond by text or by email, do realize you can reach out through Facebook. I am on Facebook. Yes, you can contact me through Facebook Messenger. Yes, I am also on Threads. You may contact me through Threads as well, your inquiry. If you have questions as Reddit users, I welcome that you come to me with the question. I would prefer to hear a question, even if it feels or sounds mildly stupid, than to have not heard the question at all. And for the rest of you, if you are curious about how you can invest your time, your data, or just want to see what the overall product is, I welcome you to take a peek at what's on GitHub. Do you realize I do have to keep a note of what corrupt actors will do as a separate set of images? This will mean that I have to know inherently what the problem they are trying to push is. If we cannot see what the problem is, we cannot diagnose or treat the problem. To those of you who are medical doctors, yes, you may use my code to do that, even if the person's a coma patient. There will be legal fair bounds to make that exception. And if you, the general public, have a unique specific inquiry that you want heard out, feel free to contact me. You can even leave a comment at the end of this video, and I will try and hear it out. Thank you, and have a good day.